was we got invaded by marijuana growers.
Oh,
And it was the best thing, that ever happened because we rallied together.
yeah, and sometimes that's what it takes.
What up, brother? How you doing? You all right? Don't do mild.
I'll start on mine first.
Yeah.
Couldn't be better. I'd love to do better, but I don't know how to. I don't know.
I see you go around all the time.
Yeah.
Every day.
Well, you don't know.
Know every bump on that road.
This is running. So, you know, I really think that we need to work together. It's not working to have winners and losers every couple of years. We need to come together. There are lots of common goals that we have.
They're getting a deal now. And so
We had 4 hours.
they've
I
never
haven't had
said
that
anything.
discussion.
I'm available, and some of my contact information is on here, so absolutely. You sound very knowledgeable about
Yes.
what
Call me to order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, there was. Don't worry, I'll see myself coming here real soon.
Oh. Any addition to the agenda?
None that I have, or I can't think of any.
Public time.
Want to thank you for getting rid of the nasty old house on Peninsula on Barnes Lake. Yay!
How long did it take us?
7 years.
I don't know what the rush was. No, we had, everything changed right at the end of it. It was fun. They did a good job with it.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Oh,
Leslie Getz, I live in Mayfield Township. I'm running for the position of state representative, which includes your township here. So I've been getting around to different townships, finding out what issues are of concern, what things are going on. A lot of the same concerns are happening all over Lapeer County, so I'm familiar with some of them. I'm a retired teacher. I'm not a career politician. No offense to anybody who is, but I feel like people sitting on the local boards and county boards are, regular people. We're there to serve our communities in the way that we feel best. I want to be your voice in Lansing. I want to speak up for issues like protecting the environment and maintaining local control over development. I think that's a common issue that we all have in this area with data centers and solar power and whatnot. Supporting children and families by providing quality public education, which is my personal interest. Childcare, healthcare, affordable housing, and more. Holding government accountable. Mr. Howell and I have discussed some things happening in my township, and I've been discussing with one of your residents, that how things in this township operate, and we go through some differences of opinion, and there are ways to come together and work together for the good of everyone. I'm demanding that the wealthy and big business pay their fair share because the little guy is having a hard time getting by these days. I'm maintaining the integrity of our elections, which I feel in this area we do an excellent job. I personally look into a little bit about what goes on in Mayfield Township because that's where I live. My neighbors are working the polls. I don't have any issues with what's happening there, but I know that election integrity is a concern. So I would appreciate your support on November 3rd. I will be here if you would like to have further discussion, or I have contact information on my flyer.
Anybody else? Hey. Present. Would you like to speak? Fine, thank you.
Mr. Supervisor.
Yeah, there you go.
If Hank's gonna yield the floor, I'm gonna. Just a little bit about the county. Tomorrow is our committee, the whole meeting. This month we'll be approving the county budget. General fund, we're gonna spend about $26 million of your tax money. We're gonna spend a lot more money than that because there's additional monies in the law enforcement villages, various grant programs, county road commission, so it's probably gonna be $78 million by the time you add it all up. But anyway, the preliminary discussion is tomorrow. The public hearing and final adoption will be the 4th Thursday. The only other comment I've got is, which isn't county business necessarily, but the township. We're making rapid progress on the zoning ordinance. Doug and I are going to be talking yet this week to put some refinements on the lakefront areas. We've got to wrap up, which Ms. Getz commented on. We're going to wrap up our regulations on solar and wind. We've got them pretty much adopted on the data centers. A lot of townships are making a real mistake. Instead of adopting an ordinance, they're adopting a moratorium. A moratorium is no answer. There's no legal basis of the statute. Deerfield is going to be a lot more proactive. We're going to get the ordinances adopted. We may change it later on, but at least you'll have ordinances in place. So if we're faced with a data center application, they're going to have to toe the line in terms of protecting the neighbors of electrical service, water, all the other issues that come time up with. Anyway, that's just sort of the status report. We'll be picking that up next Tuesday at the Planning Commission.
Anybody else? We'll smoke. Review the minutes.
I review the minutes and I make a motion to accept minutes as written and wait for the
Motion's brought on third.
Aye.
Treasurer's report.
I want to make a motion to waive the reading and to accept the treasurer's report into record. To the penny in every account.
Support, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Always balance.
We do. Sometimes it takes all day, but. And we did a launch in the middle of it,
Yes. No report. Well, the fire department's from off the line.
Not enough.
support and
Support.
Motion supported, roll call.
Cheryl?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Jason?
yes.
I'm also a yes. Keith?
Yes.
Motion carried.
She got that from.
Police.
Police, Deputy Dunbar couldn't be here today because of training. He texted me this morning, so I haven't grabbed the report before I left the office. And then, you know, in the past 30 days, we do this by 30-day, you know, from July 1st to, you know, August 1st. And then inside Deerfield Township alone, there's 267 calls for service. And so, yeah, so there's quite a bit. That's 24/7 though, but over a 30-day period, 267. So anyway, we kind of broke it down a little bit. We got 2 township deputies. Dunbar responded to 60 of those calls, and Hisberger 42. So our township deputies are at 102. And so they're getting a good portion of them. But you can see we have an increased number of calls for service. And then anyway, I'll kind of go through, and a lot of these are what we call nuisance calls. Basically what it is that like neighbor dispute, trouble customer, civil matters, you know, and then the important thing here that I would like to point out real quick is that upon reviewing this report, is that even though calls for service are up, so far we've been very fortunate because major crimes have been, at least in Deerfield Township, have been lower. And that there's a direct correlation between significant crimes, which are reportable, crimes against people, crimes against property, and the presence of law enforcement. So I think those two are in excess of this, you know, a lot of those other calls. So, you know, that's kind of the review of it.
Thank you, Jason. Fire department.
All right, so for the fire department, for the month of July, we had 20 medicals and 9 fires.
9 fires?
Yeah. And then I'd like to ask for the board to put on a new firefighter, Dakota Janus.
What?
Not until you know how to pronounce his name, right?
He's new to the area. He would be available for nights. Young guy. He seems pretty excited, so did his background check and everything's good.
Did you plan on staying in the area?
He just bought a house. Actually, how we met is he just bought a house and pulled out the kitchen cabinet and was burning it, and I had to respond there for a complaint. Very nice, very
You still handing out
respectful.
applications out there, Mike?
Actually, we had a little card that we used. No, he was very nice, very respectful. Got talking to him a little bit. Something he's been interested in for quite a while. And I talked to him into it.
I'll make a motion.
I'll support.
Approve. To go
Support it. All in favor?
Aye. Yeah, I guess so.
Anything else?
A couple things. So the DNR grant that we got, I submitted it for payment, so we should be seeing a check for $5,000 here pretty soon. Then I'm gonna apply for another grant, which Keith, I'll probably have to have you sign off on it. It's for $50,000, and it's for more turnout here, so we actually stand a pretty good chance on that one.
Who is it? Did you write the grants or who did?
I did.
Maybe you. I'm trying to get some grants for the park.
Okay.
So, get the park all fixed up and a couple ball diamonds out there.
We can do that. Then the last thing that I had was, the fire code that we talked about earlier in the year. And I know the planning commission looked at it. Just wondering where we're at with adopting that.
Didn't we also send it down to the attorney? Construction, no, I thought it was the attorney.
Didn't go to the attorney, did it?
I don't.
I don't think it was.
Did it go to the, Then what did you guys decide?
We, made a motion to, pass it on to you guys the way it was written, so.
I'll double check with, Brian and see if we did something, I can't remember.
But I don't know if we went to the,
Okay.
we don't know if we went to the.
Unless they said it.
I'll give him a call, find out for sure. So we get that going. One thing I got for you is, could you make sure you keep checking the, how much salt we got left?
Monthly.
Okay, it's all gone now, right?
No.
Where?
Oh, the actual salt in the
Yeah.
bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all gone. We filled it, the
Okay, I just turned it up a little bit, because we're still getting brown and everything.
yeah.
And let us know when you use that gallon of water, but pass that away.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think we ordered one,
The
or you're going to order one.
the tank is over halfway full, so it's
Yeah, I
not,
went and checked it today, and
it's not
We have much for
using
tomorrow.
much
it's
salt.
probably gonna start using a little bit more, cause I turned it up.
Oh, good.
I've got it.
Some of your fires will be a little softer.
Sweet. Oh, I did have one other thing. Do we have, remember the name of the guy, the electrical company that comes in here and does some work for us? Is it Bailey?
And I believe he's moved to Florida.
Oh, really?
I believe so. I can double check. What do you need?
Well, he was coming out and doing, an annual inspection on the, generator. It'd be nice to have somebody do that every year.
Yeah, we'll reach out to him and see what he's gonna do, and then if not, we'll find something else.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm, probably next month, I'm going to bring up our HVAC service. Nothing from the attorney, I think we're pretty set on attorney stuff right at the moment. We did get the whole store now. And it-
How did the one on the shoulder go, that one?
That one I talked to Craig about, the contractor that we, and it sounds like he's moving stuff around a little bit. And he took a quick walk through there. The problem with that is the title vehicles. That's a real problem trying to get those out of there. There's a lot of other legal stuff that we have to do to get those out. It's because of the title. And they're changing some of the law too. I don't know if you heard about that, the laws for abandoned vehicles,
Right.
that's all changing.
Jason's probably a lot more knowledge on this because he lives in that world. But as I understand it, you can take custody of them, you gotta wait 30 days, and then you can get an abandoned title. Is that what we usually do, Jason?
Yeah, we actually have Mike Tappan and Craig Ross, they go out there. What happens is that a vehicle, we end up, converting it in lien. So the Secretary of State gets it as an abandoned vehicle. And then I think it's 21 days, and they send out a notice, to the last registered owner.
Right.
And then they got so long to respond, and then if they don't respond, they'll issue a.
Basically, we take ownership and we dispose of it.
Yeah, I just talked to Mike yesterday, I think when he was in there. Yeah, and, he said that law's changing, that they're changing. That it's probably gonna, something with the abandoned vehicle is gonna be a long process now.
So that should make a lot of our record companies really happy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're gonna be sitting on it.
Well, in order for us to remove them, the law's changing, so.
Well, if it's private property, you the owner can have her removed, and then, but unfortunately, the towing facility is gonna be stuck with it because they get storage.
Right.
And then what happens, they normally charge a storage rate per day, per vehicle. Unfortunately, if they get an abandoned vehicle, they end up selling for salvage, and they try to recoup some of the loss, which is nowhere near what they had invested in it.
So I'm trying to get that one figured out, how we wanna approach that, because that's gonna be a real sticky one.
How many abandoned vehicles are there, you know?
I'm sorry?
How many abandoned vehicles are we talking about? Isn't
Well,
most
he's got some
of them,
motorcycles back there, and I think there's like 3 or 4 cars.
okay, but isn't there a lot of other junk as well?
Yeah, he said there's some, farm equipment,
Yeah.
some construction
So
equipment.
clearly we can take all the junk, the stuff that's not a titled vehicle, and not go through the procedure that Jason and I are talking about.
So, hopefully we can get something done there. But we wanna do it to where he's not shooting out the windows.
Okay.
That's gonna be a hairy one there.
Does Jim recycling come up when you're from the farm equipment, or?
I don't know, that'd be up to
Right.
Greg, yeah.
Yeah. Usually Jim's got that rucker that he'll come out and pick up stuff and
Right.
kind of, even Stevens, they end up getting metal out of it and, you know, so maybe some of the items.
Now with the, one on Peninsula, we gotta send the estate to go for that. Hopefully they pay it. Nothing unfinished. New, the audits.
So we do an audit every year, and King and King has done our audit for, I don't remember how long, last, almost 20 years, I think, at least 16. Usually, their biggest complaint is we do not have enough staff to segregate our duties, but with it being a small township and a small office, that's kind of what it is. But basically, they will come if you want them to and explain the audit, but this is your audit, it's for you to look at and ask any questions. But basically, they like coming here, they say we document our checks and we're very efficient, but we don't have enough people in the office to kind of keep that job, and this job. We all do each other's job.
We do a great job.
We do a great job. They turn from.
This is the
They-
first board I've been on where we don't.
They have offered in the past, they will come if you want them to. If you want them here, we'll get them here.
As part of the auditing process,
Okay.
we can go over it and not make it very detailed.
I will call them and they'll probably be here at the next meeting. And we can, so they, also our contract is up. We can wait till then if you'd like and discuss their contract when they can. That's what you'd like.
That's just my opinion. They're just signing all the boards that I serve on. And auditors don't they don't go through everything that they can. Hit the highlights
And then,
That might be good for the residents here too.
right, perfectly fine here. Set a budget thing.
So take the contract and make one.
We can do that. Why don't we do that? Why don't we table both the audit and the auditor, or the audit contract till next month?
That way, if there's any questions on the contract, they can answer.
Good transparency.
Right.
situation.
Comment that at all.
Alright, septic.
Septic. So the last time we rented this room, they had a little problem. And so this room, it's got its own septic tank, and the rest of the hall has its own septic tank. And I tried to look up when the last time we pumped the septic tank. I think Chuck did it. He's been dead 4 years. Chuck didn't do it. He actually just dug the hole. When we went to dig the hole, I was trying to dig it and realized how old I'm getting. But anyway, we ended up, we called Steve and he come with a backhoe. That baby is, I swear, 4 foot deep. And just above the tank, there was 2 gas lines over the top of them. I almost went panic mode, but we then went to, we hired Chuck and Ardell and they put a cover over it. So now all we gotta do is go out there, pop the lid, and it's right there, which is nice. It means no digging for us, for that old man over there.
Huh?
Yeah, you. So I believe, according to this, I believe we pumped the septic tank in 2019. I believe so.
7 years.
Yeah, so I think, and it's for this room only. This is the room that was giving trouble. Ahead of that, we had trouble, so we went and put the sign out in the front yard, and when they did that, they dug it up, and I think they cut through some lines, and it froze during the winter time. That was a fun time too. I think that was the, anyway, I'd like to have a motion made that we call around, and get the cheapest. It seems like All American pumped this since then, but I couldn't find theirs. And Jay's pumped the one out front, and we drew a little map and all that fun stuff. But I would recommend that we have the septic tank pumped.
Think we should have both of them?
It wouldn't hurt. I don't-
We're gonna do one, we may as well do both.
Right.
When's the last one over there?
It's, yeah.
Probably 19 to us, wasn't it?
I think it's been, this is 26. I think it was like in 2021 or 22, so it
It's
probably
probably
both needs to be done.
I would like to see both of them, so there's one.
Okay. Right. Well, back in the day, they used to say you should do it every time you elect, if we do it every time we elect the governor, it's every 4 years, or if we every time we elect the president, whichever, that way you remember things. Could do it every time we elect us, whatever. All right, so right now, everything seems to be working. Do you want me to just get good bids and come back? Or do you want me to go ahead and just get the lowest one? I guess that's our question. You've only got about 3 companies. I was at DeLong's, All American, and Jay's.
Well, are you
Or
going to an issue again?
I don't know. They kind of, so the security
This
guard.
is the second time we've had a problem with coming back up.
Yes, the security guard knew kind of what to do. And I had Dave come up right away. The security guard kind of took care of things. But when it comes up, it's bad news. All right, let me take care of it. Let me get the best price, and then we'll have things taken care of. And then do both things.
You can't do more of these, especially not being residential, I think it's like 250.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we just had ours done, I think it was like 3 years, so.
So it might be $350 for both tanks, though. I almost thought that was what the 700 was for.
Yeah, I don't know if they charge more for commercial or not, or
They do.
the size of the tank.
They
or
do.
if
Size of the
it's a little bit
It's the size of
discount.
the tank.
And just, Jim, you asked quite some time ago about what the payback would be on the rentals. I'm not sure exactly how long it's gonna take, but we've been running this thing almost every weekend. It's been awesome.
We've had quite a few weekends where all 3 rooms are running.
Great.
So it's
Full
been-
house.
Word got around and people are starting to rent quite a bit. More than fair.
I know.
In both tanks. 2000 is, yeah, it's been a while.
All right, okay.
Listen, you guys, I had an election last week, my brain's fried. Okay, so the Lapeer County, I should let, Lisa do this, Lapeer County Genealogy Society came to our clerk's meeting. They've got a project going on to honor, the veterans in our county. They'd like to do 250 graves, where we clean the headstones with their help. They would like us to maybe set up a date and go out to the cemetery and clean. I don't remember how many cemeteries there are now in the county. They probably want us to clean, somewhere between 25 and 50 headstones if we do it. And then that way, and they'll supply the soap, I think.
Yeah, she said that, they would supply the soap, but we would have to do buckets.
I think the biggest thing is they would like us to provide a few volunteers. And like there, if we do, we got a few volunteers, it wouldn't take much to do several stones. And I would think on the old side, there's several that would benefit.
How many flags did you say we put out?
250. So there's 250 vets. Right. And I'm trying to remember, seems like there's 120.
Looks like we got a whole bunch of volunteers out there.
Nate, they're looking at you.
Well, I think the main thing is
I can put it on.
you need a weed whacker and you need a knife, all the weeds that go over.
I put it on over there, cause I was checking, the one that was being done, and I found one that was under a bush.
Yeah, right.
So I pulled the whole bush out. It was a veteran. And that's terrible.
So we had a cemetery cleanup day. It's been a while, because Mark Stover was there and helped us quite a bit. And it's probably been, yeah, so I'm thinking it's been at least, I'd say 15 years. We had a work day. We had a big group, had a good, healthy group. Then they started pointing out the poison ivy, and I don't want to go back. That's fair. That's about it. As long as I know it's there, I can handle it. So if we do pick a date, we can let's kind of pick a date, and then maybe see if we can advertise and get a group of.
I've got to do this and clean up all the same time.
We used to have the ones over here on our lake,
Yeah, you could almost walk to the cemetery.
I was gonna say, yeah. I
don't know, so you're thinking maybe a Saturday? And if we are, September 12th is about the only day that I know I can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, good push probably. We start getting some cool ones too.
Well, we can.
He's glad
Are
I
we
forgot your phone.
available?
What do you think about the first
Hit your anniversary, is that what she's doing? Is that what you said?
October 3rd.
Before all the festivities start with Halloween and just start to get a little bit cooler.
When did you
Well, and
suggest?
then October 3rd, Saturday, October 3rd is the first Saturday.
Yeah.
How's our October 3rd? How is our October 3rd?
Good answer. First of all,
It is now.
Gary's gonna say every Saturday you want is packed.
Your schedule, I'll be there.
Going to Labor Day.
They'll probably get people to volunteers on that weekend, and that's open.
Ooh, yeah.
for third. Well, you have the youth hunt, so, and then you have the youth hunt September 12th and 13th.
I September 26th.
Let's shoot for the 26th and see if we can get volunteers.
That'd be just before hunting season.
9/26.
Yeah, you got a good point there.
Not that I'm ready to go.
It's a good feel thing to do, it really is.
What's the next one?
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
No, no, it's,
That was great. Okay, so, what?
that date I'll put on our website.
And I think if we call this group and let them know that that's when we're thinking, that they'll also send volunteers, yeah, and then we can get some.
Outside didn't look that bad, north side.
Well, some of the stone are kind of, it needs cleaning.
Well, probably we should concentrate on the north side.
No.
No.
Okay. So I was thinking of the pressure or call.
The millage rate, so September is usually our public hearing month, and we will go over the, fire and police assessment, and then we gotta approve our millage rate. We can, so I wanna publish it in the paper for the difference between having a public hearing and adopting the millage rate and having the not public hearing is very small, but it's still, so, so I guess I just want to tell you that we're having a public hearing next month. Without a public hearing, it's 1.136. And with public hearing, which this is last year's. And it's on the, is this the one we gave you? No. It would be, that's maximum allowable, 122. So the difference is between 1.13 and 1.2064. And I think Lisa kind of calculated it, it's a difference of what, $3,700 to go between what we had last year and this amount. I wasn't seeing this stuff initially, I wasn't paying attention to that. I just went off of what his suggested was to what we collected last year. This is the taxable value for the township for the year, correct? Okay. So the taxable value, in the township last year was $217,146,740. This year's $230,027,671. Well, and what's fortunate or unfortunate, there's a notice that we have to put in the paper. It's confusing. I don't really understand it, but we're gonna have, anyway, we'll have a public hearing next month about the military. So is the question then, the amount, like the rate that you're gonna put in the public hearing? Right, so what happens, the difference between is almost $4,000, right? But from what we collected last year to what Nathan says the requested should be levied, based on however he does this. And again, back to the transparency, we want to be where people can see us and believe us, and there's just been times when you think that the ad in the paper doesn't hardly, because it does cost a lot of money to put it in the paper, but I want to put it in the paper, and we'll have that discussion
I
next
think we
month.
always have that one.
Yes, we have.
We've never not had a public hearing.
Right. Okay, there's both.
Okay.
So the fire assessment and the police assessment is a flat rate. We do that every year, and we have to have a public hearing for that. And the same night, we will have a millage rate for the property taxes that we will collect.
Okay.
In the township tax, which that is, we always have for, I don't know how many years, long before I come along, put that money towards the roads. So we always seem to want to collect, for years and years and years, we always took the lowest. It didn't matter whether they published a public hearing or not, they always took the lowest. And, but all that money goes to the roads. enough. In the last, I would think the last 10 years, we have always supplemented, how much money we put towards the roads. Because, and we try to save up money, because there always seems to be a road that needs to be paved, or a bridge that needs to be fixed.
Well, the bridge got us big time.
And bridge got us real big time, and I'm very disappointed in that. That's a whole nother story.
Is there any money on the gas tax and all
Yes. I was gonna say about 20,000, right?
Well, off of it, yes.
Some of that's supposed to be coming into the road commission, that extra, but I haven't heard it where they're not at, with their school fundings and what that's gonna mean for the townships. We got our original allocation at the beginning of, in the spring, like when they, in March, when they put all that stuff out at the MTA. And then we haven't heard anything more. Justin said that they didn't have numbers before, and we just haven't heard.
You're surprised how many people come in here and think that all the taxes they pay go to the township and to the roads.
Most of it goes to the schools.
Yeah.
So,
North Branch Schools gets a huge portion of it. So it's like 20, 40.
Yeah, it's good.
Don't start out.
it's just so much larger than all the other districts. Our residents are feeling it.
Big time. Anything else? Other time? Hey?
Great job, man. Floor's all yours, the spotlight's yours.
I have a question. Who conducts the audit that we're talking about? Is that by the state?
What's the question?
Who conducts the audit that you were talking about?
So, we hired King and King. They have, well, now it's King and Messing. They have, things that the state requires them to do.
Okay.
But you can hire whoever you want. When I first got here, we hired a company out of Bay City. And, I think King and King was out of Marlette. They are now out of Emily City. They do the majority of Lapeer, Tuscola, Sanilac County. They do a lot of municipalities. They're very thorough.
What do they charge?
They charge about $6,000, I thought. And then they charge. I got it. I wrote it. Contract. Maybe it's August, and that's why I was thinking we should see it.
I've been here and seen, ask for one little receipt that's, they're missing.
I didn't ask that.
I just,
It's like,
sorry.
So while they're looking for that, so then where does the audit report?
All right, so for 2020, next year, the contract is $7,500. I think this year was $6,800. The following year is $8,000. The following year after that is $8,500. And in 29, 30, it would be $9,000. And then they also charge Barnes Lake about $750 to $800 annually, which that's going to go to $50 every year. So $750, $800, $850. Lisa was just asking that it's not, it didn't seem fair that we sign a contract and then tell you to do it. I said, but in the past, Barnes Lake has always said, it's a good deal. They can't hire an auditor for any cheaper. So,
You guys are doing it, so no point having two different audits,
Right.
So then where do the audit findings, where are they reported to the state?
To the state.
anybody else? So it's on time, or motion to adjourn?
Support. Say 42, 41, 43. Did I hear it here? Doug, I have a check for you, please do not leave.
For me?
Doug, not you.
Oh. You said Doug, so you gotta give me one too.
How many others?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Unless it's gonna be the bill.